Hello, this is Vulturefire, and it's time for what should be a fairly quick and straightforward pair of runs, because it's time for more depth 1 runs. If we get enough, there may be 3 runs here. We may try and do the Shah'Ru Run if we can get 1,000 gold between the Caitan Run and the Paladin Run. So this should be fairly quick, because Caitan is not a slow character. The Frost Elemental fight specifically might be a little bit slower, but so the one downside of the Caitan starting deck is it doesn't really have any card draw right now. Aside from that, I think it's pretty good. I did put it together, but I didn't test it that much. So any issues with it are my fault. Okay, so one of the nice things about Caitan right now is that the adaptive defense on this patch is so much better than it was before. It was previously a very narrow card that was, or not narrow, but it was a very defensive. It was actually a defensive card pretty much all the time, and it wasn't particularly great in mid defense, so you wouldn't run it that much. But now, the way it works is that it will be either two quick blasts or 2 magic blades, depending on which stance you are in when you play it. Which means you can use it to get whatever you need on a given turn. And it also gives you shield, which can be nice if you're not turn 1 killing things. And we're not quite turn 1 killing things yet, so that's good. I think we'll take a Stinging Strike. The follow-up strikes are also kind of so-so. I wanted to have a 0-cost strike to put in the deck, but they can be a little bit awkward. Just because they are, you won't always have a strike to start them with. But you'll notice we are still kind of burning through fights pretty quick, so that's all good. Take Arcane Strike. Battle Axe is great. The other one is also good. It's depth 1, it doesn't matter a ton. Alright, let's get Critical Chance out. And then we get a decent amount of damage. Not amazing damage, but okay damage. Absolutely, we'll get some of those. Trying to think if we want more strikes. I think we probably just want more strikes. Although, it's not going to matter. We just win. Frenzied Flux is pretty good. I do like 20 Ritual a lot, though. Caitan is a character where I would really like to play... we're going to cut the Cleaving Strike. I would like to play Quick Play. If we don't win the level 2 run, we'll do Quick Play, because like Caitan has so many very, very high value upgrades that I think going to Quick Play makes a lot of sense. You don't really have a choice on what we get there. Unfortunately, this does mean that we are going to get frozen, which is regrettable, but these things happen. Caitan is also, as you might imagine, a character who really wants to go to the ramparts. We are going to freeze ourselves here. We just want to get out as much damage as we can before we do. And yeah, this fight is obviously just kind of an awkward one for Caitan, but it's all fine. And more Artifact Energy. Although this may be, on depth 1, it may not actually be worth it to do that. Scatterbeam's kind of expensive, but it's fine. And we're just going to keep moving. No point thinking too much about this. Keep doing fights. Just because we can. I don't know how much we want to play that twice, but we're going to do it. We don't really have mana to do everything, is the problem. I think we do actually just pitch that. Gonna get Somehow forgot we had the battle axe. But we absolutely do. Crit chance. We absolutely are going to have plenty of blades. Although that does make adaptative defense going for whatever make more sense. Leeching Seed isn't particularly useful. Both these are pretty good. Let's take another Spell Slash. Alright, that was a pretty awkward hand. Although obviously kind of wasn't the worst thing possible. We did have a hand that did accomplish things. And we're not doing too poorly here. Arms Race is great. What was the card that I was thinking was questionable? I don't know that we need 3 Spell Slashes. And we can cut one of the Spell Slashes. Although, you know, not a huge deal. We are still in-depth one. And I need to stop bothering to think. Absolutely copying that. I think we are just going to do this. Hey, got pretty good luck on those crits to just get the nice clean win. This is okay, but it's worse than that, especially because we're going into Lore Blossoms. Despite being Caitan, we don't have ways to set things on fire, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Right. I don't know why I hit that one, because we do have... I think I just kind of forgot that we had Battle Axe for a moment. Very good at forgetting things over and over again. Tempest Strike. Follow Strike is, probably don't need Scattered Beam. Although we are pretty high on strikes and low on spells at this point. And especially we don't have a ton of things to go with. Whatever. Alright, and we explode very slightly. And we explode a little bit more, but we still only actually explode once, so that's fine. We would like to find... This is all pretty good. Alright, one more to go. Oh, sure got that out. And yeah, we are absolutely, like I said, going ramparts once we do the actual run. That get us, okay, got us over 500 gold, which means that we are on track to buy Shah'Ru and include that in this video. But we aren't quite there yet. So, Paladin Run. Should be also straightforward. I think the inner deck was the other starting deck that I was responsible for. We do once again have the Scattered Beam. I helped provide feedback on all of them, but I'm just not the only responsible designer for all of them. Scatter Beam did great work. That's kind of why it's in the... It's in that starting deck. We will take a charge strike. Walk in safely. Just get more max mana. Beat up some fire elementals. Alright, alright, that'll be good for next turn. I'm used to playing Paladin with access to the level 7, which we obviously do not have here. But it's not going to matter. We're just going to bulldoze through. Stinging Strike is pretty good. Upgrading the voltaic surge is very, very good. And we are moving on. Okay. There we go. Nice and clean. Pushing on through. Arms race is pretty good. Mind shield is also pretty good, but too lazy to cut anything. We don't quite get the freeze here, but that's fine. Do way less damage than we did with Caitan, of course. That's kind of to be expected. Alright, and you'll get one temporary powerful. I don't think we want to burn our shock on that. See what we find here. Okay, that's pretty good. That'll kill. Nice and quick and clean. Arcane Flow, we don't really have a ton of use for. Arcane Silence is solid. Sure. Upgrade, I think the Charge Strike, just draw more cards. I'm a big fan of drawing more cards. And we are moving along. Which of the bosses are we fighting? We're fighting Thornberry, okay. Oh, whoops, gave up the... I would care more, but we don't actually care about that. And actually gave us a decent amount of gold. I'm not used to actually paying attention to the gold we get. But I guess that event gave us, I guess, a reasonable amount. Go in and risk it. If there was any spells we could upgrade, yeah, it would just be Scattered Beam. I think I really like Stinging Strike Plus, although Shield Strike Plus is probably the one I would take if we were doing more than one, if we were doing more than depth 1. But it's gonna shock somebody. And this is gonna... And then we get exploded slightly, but it's fine. Oh, should have done that first. We could have gotten out 5 more damage. Got him. Okay, Arcane Aegis is pretty good. I tend to be a fan of that, although we don't really need it here. Discard, Spider-Man doesn't do anything for us. To shock you, I'm pretty sure we have the guaranteed kill with this. Oh, not quite. That's unfortunate. Oh. You are now 1 Arcane Detonation away from death. And hey look, it is 1 Arcane Detonation. And we actually have enough shield to block both of these, which means that we can go into Supercharge. Womp. Goodbye. We just take the Arcane Strike. Love a Shocking Grasp here. It's not super important, but I would like to have it just because I like having Shocking Grasp. We could do damage, or we could do an Arcane Detonation. We're just going to do a bunch of damage. Because we have enough shield for this turn. Let's see. Okay, this shocks us, but I think that's totally okay. Considering that if we're shocked, or if we're supercharged, we get to just do that. Shocking Grasp, love to see it. Don't care. Moving on. Time to kill this jerk. That's probably actually the best we're going to get for this shock. Does, I think, a pretty good amount of damage. We are unfortunately now dealing with the squad. I want to play this. It kills the front one. But I think we want to do this because it's going to do a bunch of popping. And I'm going to play weak. which means that we don't take any damage. Oh no, I lied. We take 1 damage. I can't count. Math is hard. And really, math should be outlawed. That's something I have long said. That math should be illegal. If I can't do math, nobody should have to do math. That's, you know, I think it's a reasonable position to take. Just really want to get this win before more summons come out, obviously. Right, there is the reflex gun, not that it matters. And we heal back to the full health. Again, not that it matters. That's the end of the run. And we get 885 gold, which means that we have more than enough to purchase Shah'Ru. And we can go ahead and knock out the last of the Depth 1 runs for this Fresh Start series. I mean, there will be another character eventually, but at the time of recording this, there are only the 3. So, Shah'Ru is all about knives. Everyone likes knives. And of course, the reason that we had to hold off on doing the Shah'Ru run until now is that you may be aware that Knife Guys finished last. I used to be not a big fan of Blade Idol, but on this patch, Blade Idol is just very good. Probably should have held that because I knew this burst of strength was coming. I should have just waited to get the extra value from that. We do not yet, of course, have Shah'Ru's level 4, which would be that every time we get a kill, we get a non-temporary powerful. Shah'Ru is another character who just is going to love going to the ramparts. Like the Spirit Swarm. May not actually end up playing the Spirit Swarm that much. Let's go right. Didn't get the bonus upgrade. That's fine. Sure, more max mana. Sure. More card draw. And away we go. I'd probably take Frenzied Flux. Alright. Again, not doing as much damage as Caitan did, but doing more damage than Paladin did, for whatever that's worth. Immediately getting the... I think that's worth more damage. And we can get out more bleed and more damage. So, yeah, we have lethal damage here. Aether Storm is pretty okay. Sure, although I don't know that we have any of those. And absolutely, we're just going to take this upgrade, which is just, it hits 2 extra times, which is pretty good. We don't really need the Fey Barriers on the Depth one. Just moving on. Fey Barrier is a card that is very good and also not super useful when your game plan is, what if we just tried to win on turn 1? Or, I mean, what if our goal is to, like, just kill everything before it matters that we don't have that much defense? I mean, in this case, we're going to kill on turn 1. And, like, that is our goal, but we aren't always going to be able to pull that off. Taking the tricky focus. And this is the version where we get that for free. We have 2 card draw trinkets. This one, again, this fight's annoying, but one of the important things here is just that we freeze ourselves here. Which we have now done. We don't even get just immediately that is the downside to the Blade Idol. That is why this fight is particularly obnoxious for Shah'Ru. You know, you just don't even get to start your turn. You just immediately get frozen. Now, it's not quite going to happen to us here, but it's going to come. We're still going to get very frozen. Fortunately, we have the evasion from the Fey Barrier. There goes our Shade, Spirit, and the Blade Idol comes in and gives us the kill. So, no damage taken, which is really what matters. Cut the other Fey barrier, because we're not cowards. We've got all 80 health going into this. Although this is another one where, like, because there's that, the reflect on the Thornberry can be just really obnoxious for us. We don't have a great answer for it. But hey, it'll be fine. It's only depth of 1. And of course, we'll take a lot of damage from, actually kind of with the Arcane Aegis just because of the fact that we're fighting Thornberry. That's just a way to get rid of the Reflect, which is otherwise going to be really annoying. And we're still going to end up hitting into the Reflect a lot because of the Blade Idols. So I want to do that first. Because if we draw into Blade Idol, we did not. And we'll go and do that. Fine with paying, I think, this health. I'm keeping my mana low for now, because if we draw Blade Idol, I would like to not waste. Alright, that's just going to give us mana, so there's no way to avoid that. This thing is going to be really clever. And I realize I'm not a very clever person. But we still get there. We only took damage to the Shrivels, and that was it. Which is pretty good. And with that, we're now primed to go with 3 characters ready to roll with a depth 1 run. Starting with Caitan, starting next time. See you then. Toodles.